Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Boxing. I'm your host, Bobby Sampson, joined with my man, Mr. Chance. Michael's Chance, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good yourself?
Can't complain, man. It is Thursday. The weekend is upon us, man. Spring, I think, spring is going to hit this weekend too. So here we go, man. Last final days of winter. Can't complain. Uh, Not that bad of a winter. Yourself?
It was mild. It was good. Yeah, I'm pumped up. We did our baseball fantasy draft last night. March Madness is kicking off today, so yeah, lots of good things here. Got some good
Nice.
boxing.
How's your team shaping up? The season's already started, right? With the Tokyo series.
That doesn't count. We don't start it till the real regular season starts. Yeah, the team's pretty good. I got some good pitching. I got Logan Gilbert.
But if
My
you
first
had a
pick, I got
Tani,
Jose Ramirez. I picked fifth this Bengals league. I picked fifth, so I was either going to take Jose Ramirez or Juan Soto. I was kind of on the fence with it, but I went with Ramirez from Cleveland. So
fair enough.
never know.
Soto's in LA now, right?
No, he's Mets.
Oh, he's with the Mets. He's signed with the Mets
Mets.
because he
Yeah,
was with
yeah,
the Yankees before. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Um, so let me understand this before we get into boxing here very quickly. If you had Otani in your pool and he scored a home run in Japan this morning, that doesn't count.
No, because they're starting when the whole thing starts. Because they're still doing spring training games right now, right?
Well, no, but the Tokyo series would be considered a part of the start of the regular season. That goes.
Yeah, but that's not how he did it. He's just starting when the whole league starts, I guess. I don't know why, but that's what he's doing because there's so many spring training games right now, right?
So hypothetically speaking, say that guy loses by 1 point and he didn't get that home run from Otani this week. That could cost him the championship.
It could cost him the championship, I guess. Yeah,
That doesn't seem fair, bro. I mean, if it's a regular season game, it's a regular season game.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not the one who structures it. I'm not sure.
Fair enough,
This your
fair
boy,
enough. Well, let's
this your
talk
boy
about
Bangu
structure
for
here.
you.
PBC coming back with their second card of the year, headlined by Samp&Chance, the 6'6" unified champion, defending his titles against Chardal Booker. This is an interesting one here, man. Before I give it over to you and break it down, we're looking at a forward charging style from Fundora matching up with the counterpunching style of Booker, which should make for a pretty good fight. Now, this is a kind of an interesting dynamic here because I mean, in essence, this is a good fight. This is a
Oh
big
yeah,
fight,
I'm looking
but
forward to it.
all the build up to it, it felt like okay, first, Sebastian was supposed to fight Errol, then he was supposed to fight um um oh, what's his name? The little dude. Help me
Which
out
guy?
here.
I'm not sure. What are you talking about?
He beat up Earl, and now he's fighting Canelo. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Terrence Crawford. You know,
Okay.
those were the two guys that they were supposed to be the next guys in line for these titles, and it went back and forth, and finally now we're settling on Chordell Booker here. So
Mm.
interesting dynamics, but fair enough. Booker's coming off 6 victories here, so he's earned the right to be here. I'm looking forward to this. This should be a good fight. Sebastian coming in at 21-1, with Booker coming in at 23-1. Break it down for us, Mr. Michaels. What do you see?
Okay, well, I'm just gonna read off what I put on X. I put it on there
Sure,
yesterday, so
sure.
people can get to it, whatever, to listen to us say it, or you can read on X, whatever. But Fundora, 27-year-old southpaw from Coachella, California, 6'5". The guy's just skin and bones, but he's so tall. He's got an 80-inch reach, bringing a significant height and reach advantage over Booker. His record stands, as you said, 21-1-1, 13 knockouts, which feeds 62% knockout rate. Pretty good.
Yeah.
He's got a fan-friendly, aggressive style, so he's fun to watch, like we said. He's faced top-tier competition already. He lost to Mendoza. He's just so tall. He's so lengthy. That is the height. He's 6'5", but 154 pounds. He's just skin and bones, but he's so long. He's hard to get in on. So Chardell Booker is going to be in for a long night. He's a southpaw, also from Connecticut.
Yeah.
This is his first world title shot. He's 23-1, 11 knockouts, which is 48% KO rate. Chardale's not that small for 154. He's 5'9", but
Yeah.
compared to Fundora, it's huge height advantage. Fundora's got a 10-inch reach on him. Booker's got a 70-inch reach. So he's gonna have to come forward with all of everything he's got and get in and close that range, which is easier said than done. Booker's number 5 ranked by the WBO. So this is a big chance for him, man. He won a gold medal in the 2015 USA national team.
Yeah,
So
he
I mean,
was
he's good.
a alternate on the 2016 Olympic team in
Yeah,
Rio.
really good.
So,
So yeah,
um,
this is in Mandalay Bay. So this is for the WBC and WBO super welterweight titles.
yeah,
So there's a lot on the line here. This is a big chance for Tordale Booker to step up and put down Fundora. Like Fundora's tall and lanky, but I mean, he's not that strong. There's just a lot of skin and bones, but it's hard to get in on the guy with that such
Well, look at Tim.
10-inch reach advantage.
Tim Zoo couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right. And he got cut up brutally. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a question of power or not, but yeah, it's about, getting in there and then just kind of finding your footing and everything.
And
Well,
basically, the last key point of this, Booker's got the slick counter punching, so that will contrast Fundora's forward style approach. So we'll see if he can pull that off. We'll see. It'll be a fun fight.
It should be a fun fight, and everything's easy to accomplish when you're training, right? I mean, a lot of that stuff. So let's see how much that kind of comes to here. If he can find his counter punching skill and find that rhythm, I mean, we could see an upset here, man. I would potentially. Possible. He's coming off 6 straight victories here, and it's not a shabby list of guys that he's beaten either. So ultimately, this is, in my opinion, this is a toss-up because I don't feel that Fundora, in my opinion, even though he's unified champion, you can't take that away from the guy. I'm still not sold on him. With the Tim Zoo fight, it felt like, okay, headbutt or not, whatever you want to call it, the cut was there and it compromised him and that allowed him to do it. The kid's got a chin. He can take a punch. You're right, though, right? He's so lanky and tall. Like, I mean, you're just
he's waiting so hard to get it on, right? He just wears you down, just keeps pawing at you, pushing you back.
Well, that's it. That's it. So you can never set yourself up or not. So let's see what Chardale can do here. But I'll tell you what, just based on everything that I've seen so far, I just think Sebastian wins this again in a decision, a split decision.
I think it's going to be like a TKO. I think ref stoppage. I think he's going to get cut up, start bleeding, Pester on the ropes. I'm thinking like between round 9 and 10. I think ref steps in and saves Booker from Fundora.
All right. Well, I'm going to go decision. You're going to go there. So we got that one in the bag. I mean, the rest of the card looks really good too. Just got to mention it very quickly. We got Jesus or almost Junior. Guys like trying to prove a point here, man. He fought in February, 6-week turnaround. So good co-main event there for everyone else as well. But PBC second card of the year, man.
Yeah, good for them. They're putting out cards. They're decent cards so far. So I'm happy for them. Keep the momentum rolling.
All right, let's move on. So we're going to jump on the plane here and we're going to head all the way over to Australia for the fight that's coming up on the 22nd of May. This one's interesting. This one is
March.
Sorry, pardon me. This one's interesting. It's kind of come out of it's not out of nowhere, but just based on everything that we've seen and heard, there's a lot going on with George Kambosos that a lot of people don't know about. One, he's moving up in weight. He's going up to 140. He's no longer a top rank guy. Now he fights under the banner of Eddie Hearn and and Matchroom. This fight,
the reason why there's not much juice in this fight is he's lost 3 out of 4. Lost twice to Haney, lost to Lomachenko. So the guy is basically
and the one victory that he got against Maxi, a lot of people thought he lost anyways. That he fought.
And there's no shame in losing to Haney and Lomachenko, two of the best going, right? But still,
it's clear how they came in 2021 when he beat Teal.
Yeah,
plain and simple, right?
Yeah.
And then he couldn't defend the 2 titles. He lost the 2 titles both times to Devin Haney. Controversial victory to Maxi, and then you lose to Lomachenko, which is no shame either. But that being said, with all the Turkish stuff, with all the stuff going on around boxing and this and that, this guy's quietly got a new training team. He's moved up to 140, and he's signed to Matchroom. Now, the fight that was supposed to come here was him and Liam Paro. They were supposed to fight, but Paro lost to Hutchinson. It was supposed to be an all-Australian showdown. Right. So then what we have here is he's supposed to fight Daud, who's from Indonesia. He gets called out. And on Monday, we are now finding out that he's fighting Jason Wyllie.
Yep.
All right. So what do you know
Jack
about
Wyllie?
Jack Wyllie. Sorry, pardon me. Jack Wyllie and George Kambosos 140 this Sunday. Your thoughts on it?
It should be an easy night for Kambosos. Jack Wyllie was buying a ticket to watch the fight. Now he's fighting because Dodd can't fight. And saying that, I'm not saying that Jake can't win, but this is definitely a tune-up fight for George. George will probably never get back to the level that he was at, just because when he fights the top guys, he doesn't beat them. He did beat Tio. This is a big opportunity for Jake. I'll break it down a little bit here. I won't read it all because there's too much on X, but all the in-depth breakdown is on X. But this is a live show, so this is the breakdown of the fight. Basically, Kambosos brings his experience against elite competition. Well, he's got the youth, he's got the power, aggression. Kambosos has dismissed Wylie's underdog narrative, vowing a ferocious statement with no happy ending for his opponent. I like how Kambosos, he's trying to sell the fight. Wyllie believes his punching power could shock the former champ. So that's basically where that's at. Just the youth, he's young, he's got nothing to lose. And we could see an upset as the same ilk as where we've seen Kambosos upset Teofimo. We never thought that would ever happen. And look what happened. Could Jake be Kambosos to Teo? We don't know. We're going to find out. This should be good. But here's a quick breakdown on Wylie's career. He's 16-1, 15 knockouts. That's pretty good. He's only 24 years old, so he's young, he's strong.
Sure.
He's a current Australian super lightweight champion, and he's got an impressive knockout rate, 15 knockouts out of 16 victories by stoppage. So this guy is the real deal. Now, he's never fought the level of George, so we'll see how that translates. But on paper, I'm feeling an upset here. Stars seem to be aligning for Jake. I don't know.
Well, dude, we've seen upsets, most recently, and they're running it back here on the Canelo card as well. Bruno Sukalis and Jamie Munguia are running it back, and we saw what happened in that fight, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go different than you. I think Kambosos wins because I think he has something that he wants to prove. He's new with a new team, both in the ring and outside the ring management. The guy's moved up to weight at 140. My question is that extra few pounds translate in a positive or a negative for him? Does he gain more power? Is he going to lose speed? Is he going to lose this? Jack Wyllie has nothing to lose.
Exactly.
And everything to gain. Row. Right? All the pressure is on George. So based on what you're saying, yes, I can potentially see an upset, but I'm going to flip it and say I think Kambosos just dominates this guy. Primarily backed with everything that's been going on and what he wants to prove. And if you're moving up to 140, man, and we've talked about it before, that's a killer division right now.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, I think 140 is probably top 2, top 3 divisions in all of boxing right now in terms of pure skill and entertainment.
Yeah, it's one of the best divisions of boxing. I mean, Kambosos, he needs to come out and he needs to look impressive. He needs to finish this guy. If you can't beat a guy, even though he's 16-1, he's only 24. He's youth. This guy is very dangerous. But if you can't beat a guy that was going to buy a ticket and watch you fight, your best days are far behind you. And I like Kambosos. He used to train Manny Pacquiao. He's a former top-ranked guy. I'm a big fan of him. I like his personality, but I just think that he's already peaked almost. You know what I mean? Like,
but possibly. I mean, he's only 31, right? So I mean, in essence, yes, he's only had he's going into his 25th fight here. Right, so 24 fights in the can, 21 victories, 3 losses. The 3 losses you can't even be ashamed about.
No, Haney, right? Weiss, and Lomachenko.
And I mean, I think George moving up, doing everything that he's doing right now. I personally feel that if he trends the right way, the way Haney's going, I think he could beat Haney now, potentially.
You never know. I'm cheering for George. I'd like to see him win. I
do like George. I like his delivery. I like his cadence.
Hard work ethic, yeah.
His hard work ethic. I mean, we spent so much time, not us, you and I per se. We kind of value morals and ideologies of that sort, right? I mean, I think you and I have done a great job of separating the athlete from the person.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. And in a lot of cases, the guys that everyone wants to win and cheer are horrible people.
Oh, yeah.
Just outside the ring in terms of their mannerisms and how they conduct themselves and, things like that. Yet here we have a guy like George Kambosos, who is just, I'm not saying he's a saint.
He's a pretty good guy all around, though.
Right. Like there's no controversy surrounding the man. There's nothing really there. So I don't know why people shit on the guy.
I don't know. The winner of this fight, they're saying, could face Richard Hitchens. So we'll see.
But he would be next in line here, right? Because I mean, Paro beat the match here was Liam Paro and George Kambosos. It was an all Australian showdown, 140. Everything was beautiful. Hutchinson wrecked it in December. Yeah. Right. So whoever wins this fight, and good for Jack Wyllie if he can pull it off, man.
He's the same. Right? We talk about
does this
Jack Wyllie can write his own title story, Cody Rhodes style here. If he
right, but does this Wyllie victory, hypothetically speaking, put him in a title shot position? Or
if he does a convincing win, knocks George out, makes George look slow and stupid out there, yes. If he barely wins a decision, probably not.
Right, because I feel that before he can go on to Hutchinson, and I'm talking about George, if he convincingly beats this guy with hardly any marks, with no damage per se, The
Yeah.
fight to make after this would be him and Paro, in my opinion, and then the winner of that would go on to face Hutchinson.
Yep.
If that was the case, if that's the direction they're looking at.
It's all set up for George here. He needs to win this fight.
It is, man. But I think with Eddie Hearns in his corner now and all this kind of stuff, I think it's going to work out.
Yeah, I don't blame Top Rank for letting him go. He lost 3 out of 4. I mean, there's not a lot of money in Georgia anymore.
Well,
So
plus he's far away.
he's far away. But there's this new up and coming heavyweight guy. He's got only had 6 fights, 6 wins, all by KO. Yeah. He's got an interesting name, Terramona. That's his name, and he's on the undercard of the Kambosos. So
the Aboriginal fella, man.
Yeah. Watch out for this guy.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, it's interesting. Him and Moses at some point should.
I like to watch the young guys come up, right? Because you're watching future potential, greats possibly.
Well, look, we got who you just mentioned. I don't want to butcher his name, and we got Moses Atami as well. So I mean, if we're looking at the future of the heavyweight division, that's what we'll be looking at, right? All right. Very quickly, I just want to talk about, and I'm putting you on the spot here. So, with the TKO company and all this stuff that's kind of coming now, we're starting to see a bit more on how it's going to look.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, I thought this is going to affect boxing on a whole, but I don't think it is going to affect boxing the way we think it is. If anything, I think we're going to see a negative turn in boxing to a certain extent. Shall I explain?
It's hard to say because
let me explain. Let me explain my point. And then I'll let you rebuttal here, bruv. The way I look at it is very simple. You're going to get the TKO company, which is basically to run a boxing promotion like they do UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're going to sign about 150 to 200 boxers across different weight classes, in my opinion. I don't know if this to be fact. This is the way I'm just putting it out in my own head here. Okay? Yep. All these guys are going to be under contract, which means, based on what I understand, they're not going to work with the governing bodies. They're not going to work with the other promoters. Mm-hmm. So those entities and those other boxers that are not involved in this project, in this promotion, are still going to be fighting under those banners.
Yeah.
Now, the way we've seen boxing for the last 4 years, maybe 5, if we want to call it 5, we've seen the fights of all the fights that we would never normally see. Okay? Mm-hmm. How many undisputed fights have we seen in the last 5 years compared to the last 20?
Yeah.
Right? So here's what my fear for boxing is. You're going to get this TKO league. You're going to get 125, 135, 145, 150, probably set it up the way they do the UFC, 1 belt per division, blah, blah, blah. You're signed to their promotion. You only fight in their promotion. Okay. That's going to cause problems on their side because I don't think you're going to get all the top guys that you're hoping to get if you're going to pay them according to how you pay everyone else. Okay. What's going to happen to boxing, though? We're going to revert back to the way boxing was, I feel. I think that's the detriment to this deal, is that you're going to lose that Saudi money that's running everything. You're going to go back to these 4 governing bodies and everyone fighting over TV rights and this and that. You're going to see the detriment of boxing, I feel. Thoughts?
I see a complete opposite. So you got the best matchmaker in boxing in His Excellency.
Dana White is not the best matchmaker in boxing.
No, hold on. That's not what I said. I said you have the best matchmaker in boxing in His Excellency.
Oh,
you have his best matchmaker in combat sports, Dana White. You have 2 alpha males here. This is not Tony Khan and Triple H. These guys are cutthroat. So they're saying nice things right now, but I'm telling you right now, this is how I see it. They'll start off, they won't have all the top guys right away. But once the other boxers realize how the eyeballs are on the TKO boxing, because like I said, they're cutting out all the national anthems. We're not going to wait 20 minutes anymore. Well, 3 guys have a podcast. We wait for the main event. All that crap's done. It's going to flow much better. Flow as the UFC. When the other boxers start realizing the flow is better, the fighting is better, there's going to be better competition. You're not going to be like, I don't want to fight this guy and wait them out. Like, for example, if Canelo and Benavidez signed TKO, they're fighting or you're out.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Once they start realizing that, it's like we have other MMA promotions too, right? There's Bellator, there used to be Strikeforce, there used to be Pride. They all folded up. They had great fighters at the time. They all folded up. All these other fighters, most of them eventually will come over to TKO because they're going to realize it's such a machine behind it, and they're gonna put these other things out of business. I don't doubt it if maybe a Golden Boy, well, probably not De La Hoya because him and Dana White relation, but maybe like a Top Rank maybe like somebody that will just sell off to these guys and they'll grab the fighters. There'll be
Maybe
something like that.
maybe they
Well,
will.
it's going to be basically what I'm saying. It's going to be a complete takeover within 5 years. They're going to dominate.
No, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just like it's gonna for me. It comes down to like what's the pay gonna look like for these guys because these guys are coming from a different place of pay, right?
Those long
I mean,
paydays are going to be gone because not enough people are going to watch that. When if they think that this TKO boxing league is better, they're not going to watch it. Example: not a lot of people watch Bellator, so they won't be able to pay them what they've been paying. So that's what they're going to squeeze these guys out, and it's like Dana White and Turkish, they want it all. They want to dominate the boxing. Turkey already is dominating the boxing. So what do? You join up with Dana White, the other guy who dominates the mixed martial arts. These guys got the whole game on lock.
well, let's
And
see
they're
how
going
it
to
plays
pull
out.
up. It's going to be. They're going to dominate.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're going to dominate to a certain extent. I know
And it's
North
going to be like
America for sure,
there's
but
a
I don't
lot of
know.
there's a lot of history. Well, they'll go wherever they go. They'll be fine. It's like WBA, WBC, all these belts. They got a lot of history, a cherished history. So does the NWA belt in wrestling. Now it's pretty much obsolete. It doesn't mean anything anymore. History is great. Nobody cares about that belt anymore. Nobody watches NBA wrestling. What, 10,000 people watch that? So that's what I think is going to happen here. We'll see. I don't know. Nobody knows.
The way I look at it,
But they're going all out. They're coming guns blazing, or they wouldn't do it.
the way I look at it, a guy like George Kambosos would be great for this promotion.
He'd be okay, but they're going for bigger guys than that. But
Yeah,
they
but
can use
how
him.
much? But I don't know if you can get like when you say bigger. What's your interpretation?
I don't know who they
What do
got
you
in mind.
envision as bigger?
But big stars like Terrence Crawford, like a New Way, guys like that, big blockbuster stars. Those
Interesting,
kind of guys.
man.
Kambosos is
Interesting.
not going to sell any pay per views.
Guys like guys, I don't know about Neely, but I know Crawford for a fact is not looking for anything under 20 million these days.
But that's the thing, though. Eventually, what I'm saying is, when this new organization takes over, those big paydays are gone. You guys are going to fight the best. You're not telling us who you're going to fight. We're telling you who you're going to fight. Best are going to fight the best. You're not going to like what Floyd did. Wait out Manny Pacquiao like it's older and goof around. If they went to TKO, they would have fought in their prime.
No, I get
They're
that.
here to change the game, basically.
I think what you're saying is going to come to fruition, but I don't think we're not going to see that in the next 5 years, especially with the guys that are on top right now. They're not going to be a part of
But
this.
they're gonna start losing fans, and they're gonna start losing pay-per-view numbers, and they're gonna start losing
Crawford's
people.
got what?
And so
Maybe
the money will squeeze, right?
Crawford's got 2-3 fights left in him.
Well, not even Crawford. I'm just throwing. I'm talking like big. He's an old guy now, but I'm talking big names like that. They want the big names.
Yeah.
And trust me, all it takes is for Bob Arum to say, you know, I'm 94 here. You guys buy my top rank. He's gonna get all that stars, all the young guys, everybody in the way they go. They'll be unstoppable.
Guys like Abdullah Mason's, would benefit this, right? Like most of their prospects.
They're gonna have a mix. They're gonna have young stars and they're gonna have old stars and they're gonna have everything in between. And Dana White and Turkish wouldn't do this to half-ass it. They're coming all out.
If it was like, if we're going to compare this to AEW, you need a Jericho-esque type of guy to start this off.
Yeah, they'll have big names, guys, for sure.
Right. So
I don't know who it's going to be, but these the guys do not do anything half-assed. They're big, they're the best, and they don't play around.
Fair enough. All right, brother, man. I just wanted to touch back on that. We're going to be coming back to this and that, but man,
I'm excited for it. I think it's great because all the things I've been saying the last few years, I'm glad Dana White thinks like me because he's saying, not because I said it, but he's thinking like, hey, cut all these national anthems. We don't just sit there and listen to 3 national anthems before a main event. Cut the crap out. Start at the beginning of the show, and that's enough. I hate waiting half an hour between a co-main and a main. It's too long. You can be ready to go and let's go, guys. We got time is valuable for everybody that buys the show, who's watching it. We don't need to sit there for half an hour and wait. Get out the next fight within 5-10 minutes and let's get the party started. I love that about UFC.
Fair enough, man. All right. UFC's in London this weekend, so we got that happening here. We got those 2 good fights happening. Those 2 cards are happening. Other than that, a lot of regional stuff, a lot of things like that. Very quickly, Alicia Baumgartner signing with MVP now. She's left the Matchroom promotion, so now I think they're trying to, I'm kind of curious to see what happens with these guys as well, right? I mean, an upstart promotion. So interesting. Here we go.
Yeah, good for her. She's happy with it.
Hey, man, it's good for her. Now they got Amanda Serrano and they got her. So they got 2 of the biggest names in female boxing.
Yeah, they do.
So it should be pretty good here. Let's see what Jake can do with both of them, man.
Yeah, Jake, I think he's trying to like get as much of the women talent under his own belt, which is smart.
And I love that. I mean, he's attacking.
And they all say Jake's a great guy to work for. He pays well. So
he pays well, and at the end of the day, we've talked about this, and I'll say it again. It's not because I don't like the character that Logan plays in WWE. He's an amazing heel. It's not that, but
amazing wrestler.
I do. If I had to, side with one of the brothers and work with them, I'd probably work with Jake.
Yeah, I love them both. They're for what they've done, and we know this because we're in the YouTube world. For what these guys to come up with to create this content, and then all of a sudden fight, Floyd Mayweather, fight Mike Tyson, and then you got the other brother here who's sitting here as USA champion. He
Yeah.
has what viral moments in WWE. Like, who else can say they can do that? Nobody's
Well, hey
done that.
man,
And it's
it's hard
amazing.
work though. You know, again, at the end of
They're
the day,
amazing athletes, though.
look,
I know tons of indie guys that work hard and they stink.
no,
They're out of shape. They
it's
can't move. These guys got natural God given ability,
it's hard work.
athletically,
It's hard work, right?
and some God given talent.
100%. But reality of it is, there's all of us have God given talent. We just have to figure it out what it is,
Mm-hmm. But
right?
I see guys training all the time in the Indies,
Well, I
and
get
they
it,
work just as hard as Logan Paul, and they stink.
dude.
They stink.
You. Sorry, not me. You have a friend who's been going to the gym for fucking 7 years, and he still looks like he's gotten bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I mean,
diet.
exactly. Right.
Yeah,
With all due respect. All
yeah.
right, brother man, let's wrap. Actually, before we go very quickly here, anything happened in the world of boxing history or Canadian history?
Nothing of significance for Canadian history, but we got something for I guess it's Mexican boxing history. I guess we could say
Sure.
this time
Let's
we
do it.
got Julio Cesar Chavez won his 74th straight fight. Pretty impressive when he defeated the unified junior welterweight champion of the world, John Duplessis, on this week at the Mirage Hotel in Casino in the fight capital of the world, beautiful Las Vegas, 1991, 34 years ago, 74th straight win in a row.
Okay, so
Wow.
was that at
He
that
just
point was he
dominated the guy.
74 or no?
What's that?
Was he 74 or no by that point, or had he lost before that?
I'm not sure on that. I just know it's
Well, if
74.
that's okay, let's hypothetically 74 or no.
Okay.
Okay. That makes me wonder then how many of those guys were soup cans, because
Quite a
if
few. Quite a
right,
few.
because if what's his name, Floyd is pumping 50 and 0, like it's the mark that everyone needs to achieve. Wouldn't 74 and 0 be better?
Yeah, but Floyd fought way better competition
Well,
though.
that's what I'm saying. He fought way more champions and everything
Yeah,
else.
so Chavez had 115 fights, 107 wins and 6 losses. But
Yeah.
a majority of the guys, yeah, they're tough guys at the club fighting level, but they're not. He's not fighting. It wasn't the Pacquiaos and the Canelos and
No, no,
Moses.
no.
I hate to say that, but I mean,
Well, no, it's a fact. That's what I'm saying. Because if you look at,
I'm checking it right now.
you
Actually,
look at Floyd's record, how many world champions did he fight? He fought a lot of world
lots.
champions, man.
Yes, and he was 74-0 when that happened.
Yeah.
His first loss was 1994 to Frankie Randall. He was 89-1 at MGM
And then
Arena.
he
So
lost to
so 88 fight winning streak.
yeah, so that should mean something.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. But the caliber competition was
Well,
not
that's the problem. That's the problem. All right, brother man, let's wrap this puppy up. Let's start the weekend early. Yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
The days are longer. Sun's going down about 7:30. I find that more confusing in the first couple of weeks of this new time than the actual time itself, because you look at the clock, it's 5 o'clock. Oh shit. It feels like it's 3 still. But
Yeah.
that's a thing to have. All right, brother man. My name is Bobby Sampson. His name is Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great ACDC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you, everyone. The weekend is upon us. Things are happening. Spring is in the air. Still feels a little cold, but spring is definitely in the air. So if you're going out this weekend, have a great time. Enjoy yourselves. Do what you got to do. Just get home safe. And remember, hard work, patience, and faith, man. Those are the 3 elements here that will change your life if you accept them with open arms and accept them for what they are, just for the simple things that they are. Hard work, have faith in your hard work, and have patience that your hard work is going to pay off. And that's the key. Samp and Chance are out.